Hi, my name is Jobie Mitchell, and my presentation focuses on the incarceration rates of the U.S. compared to Denmark, specifically how their prison systems work and the correlation to the incarceration rates of each country. First, we have the incarceration rates themselves. As of 2018, we can see that the United States leads in the highest incarceration rate, and it's exponentially higher than most other countries. The United States compared to Denmark, the United States has an incarceration rate greater than 10 times the rate of Denmark. Specifically, the United States has a rate of 698 people per 100,000, while Denmark has a rate of 59 per 100,000 people. So next, we have why the U.S. has such a high incarceration rate. From this graph, we can see that the prison population dramatically increases in the 1980s, and this is essentially because the criminal justice system within the U.S. started to be tougher on crime. Specifically, there was a large focus on drug-related crimes and the sentencing related to that. This era is specifically known as the war on drugs, as well as, in general, there was harsher sentencing, which would include longer sentences, as well as the creation of mandatory minimums. So the U.S. prison system. Currently, the criminal justice system uses a crime control model, and historically it's been debated on whether prison should act as a place for rehabilitation or a place for punishment. So currently with the crime control model, many nonviolent crimes require a minimum sentence of 5 to 15 years, and the system essentially uses longer sentences to deter offenders and lower the rate of reoffending. Another aspect that contributes to the high incarceration rate is the 3 strikes laws implemented in many states, and this essentially says that if a person commits 3 felonies, they can be sentenced to life in prison. So within the prison system, whether federal, state, or private prison, many prisoners are treated inhumanely, and overall it just focuses on punishment for their crimes. So this is a few pictures of what some prisons in the U.S. look like. What I think of personally when I think of a prison is high security walls, electric fences, barbed wire, and small living conditions, and sometimes I think of solitary confinement. Obviously, there are different aspects depending on the crime, but essentially this is what it could look like. So to the Danish prison system, in Denmark it has more of a rehabilitation standpoint in which the system focuses on solving the issues that led a person to commit a crime. Most prisoners serve very small sentences, usually less than 5 years on average, and the environment is made to be as close to normal life as possible. There are open and closed prisons. Closed prisons would be more high security, but in the open prison, they don't have walls, barbed wire, electrical fences, and other high security measures that many of us would think of in the U.S. Prisoners can also enroll and attend classes. They can have a job, they shop and cook for themselves, and other tasks involved in what a person would consider a normal life. Prisoners are even granted most of their freedoms, like the right to vote. So the reoffending rate is relatively lower than the U.S.'s, with a rate of approximately 27%, where the U.S. has an average around 44%, depending on the crime committed. So next, this is some photos of a prison in Denmark. As you can see, the aerial view, it is very large and spacious. It has a lot of green space. The rooms are fairly sized and have separate bathrooms, as well as it almost looks like a college, and there is a lot of amenities, such as the top right hand corner. This building has a church, as well as there's places with a playground for when families visit. The prison system in Denmark focuses on rehabilitating the prisoners and lowering reoffending rates. Although this system is not perfect, it definitely has a lower reoffending rate as well as incarceration rate compared to the US.